3:47 a.m., Sea of Japan. A North Korean submarine sits in the darkness below, locked onto a target above. The USS Carl M. Levin has no idea what's coming. The submarine commander inputs the firing sequence. His target is a billion-dollar destroyer. He thinks he's caught them sleeping. He's about to launch a missile that will change everything. At this exact moment, he made a mistake that would cost him everything. But the destroyer isn't defenseless. The ship's defense system is already tracking him. And in 98 seconds, his missile is going to go dark. The missile launches. Water boils and churns above the submarine as the KH-35 anti-ship missile screams from its underwater launch tube. The rocket motor ignites in the pre-dawn darkness. The missile reaches transonic speed in 1.3 seconds. It is now traveling at 580 miles per hour, just above the surface of the water to avoid radar detection. The North Korean operator watches the telemetry data stream across the screen. Everything is tracking perfectly. The missile is locked onto the destroyer's electromagnetic signature. Then the alarm screams on the USS Carl M. Levin. The sound cuts through the Combat Information Center like a knife. Petty Officer Second Class Marcus Webb is sitting at the radar console when he sees it. A contact, a fast mover, coming from bearing 347 degrees. It's moving too low and too fast to be anything other than what he knows it is. An anti-ship cruise missile. His hand moves to the radio handset. Combat, radar, incoming missile, bearing 347, range 35 miles, altitude 40 feet, speed marking, Mach 0.9. The words hang in the air for exactly half a second before the combat information officer repeats them back. The commanding officer's head snaps toward the display. There's no time for confirmation protocols or double-checking readings. There's no time for anything except a decision. The commanding officer is Captain David Mitchell. He's been commanding destroyers for 16 years. He's trained for exactly this scenario more than 200 times in simulation. But simulations never feel like this. Simulations never have the taste of metal in your mouth or the sound of your own heartbeat hammering in your ears. He keys the radio. His voice is level and controlled. Combat stations, general quarters, all hands man your battle stations. We have an incoming anti-ship missile. Time to impact 4 minutes and 16 seconds. The alarm screams again. It's a different tone this time. The one that means this is real. This is not a drill. Throughout the destroyer, sailors are moving. They're sprinting down passageways. They're securing watertight doors. They're running to their stations because every single one of them knows what happens when a Ka-35 hits a destroyer. They've seen the photographs. They've studied the damage reports. They know that a hit amidships would tear open the hull and flood the ship in minutes. The missile is now 28 miles away and closing at 580 miles per hour. The radar is tracking it perfectly. The Combat Information Center has locked in the intercept course. But a radar lock and an actual successful defense are two different things. Ensign Sarah Chen is sitting at the weapons control console. Her job is to coordinate the ship's defensive systems. She has 3 main tools. The first is the close-in weapon system, a phalanx CIWS that fires depleted uranium rounds at a rate of 4,500 rounds per minute. It's a weapon designed specifically to shred incoming missiles. The second tool is the ship's surface-to-air missile battery. The third tool is electronic warfare and decoys. She's never fired at a real target before. She's only done this in simulations. But simulation or not, the calculus is the same. The phalanx system needs a clear firing solution. The missile needs to be close enough that rounds can actually connect. That means letting it get very, very close to the ship. The commanding officer's voice crackles across the combat net. Weapons. Stand by for phalanx firing authorization. All decoy systems on standby. Launch chaff when I give the order. Ensign Chen's fingers hover over the keyboard. The missile is now 18 miles away. The time to impact is now 3 minutes and 52 seconds. The destroyer is already launching its countermeasures. Flares are being ejected from dispensers along the ship's superstructure. These flares are white hot. They're designed to confuse the missile's infrared seeker. The missile has an imaging system. It looks for the heat signature of the ship's engines. But now, it's looking at a sky full of heat signatures, 100 of them, all burning just as hot as the destroyer's exhaust. The missile doesn't know which one to follow. For a critical moment, the KH-35's guidance system is confused. The lock wavers. The missile pitches up slightly, tracking one of the decoys instead of the ship. For 2.3 seconds, it's no longer pointed at the destroyer. It's pointing at empty air. But only for 2.3 seconds. The missile's secondary guidance system kicks in. It's a radar altimeter. It measures the distance to the ground below, or in this case, the water. When the missile dropped altitude following the false decoy, the altimeter detected the change. The guidance computer compensated. The missile's course corrected. It locked back onto the destroyer's actual position. The missile is now 9 miles away. Time to impact is 2 minutes and 40 seconds. The commanding officer watches the red dot moving across his tactical display. It's like watching a train coming at you and knowing you can't move. Except this isn't a train. This is a piece of technology designed by engineers in Pyongyang who spent years thinking about how to kill American sailors. The missile is at 6 miles now. The phalanx system has a firing solution. The computer is asking for authorization. But opening fire means committing to this defense. It means trusting the system. It means accepting that if this doesn't work, sailors die. Captain Mitchell takes a breath. He's done this calculation 1,000 times in his head. The phalanx system has a 94% success rate against sea-skimming cruise missiles in real-world testing. 94% means 6 out of every 100 fail. But waiting for the missile to get closer won't improve those odds. It will only make things worse. His hand moves to the authorization button. He presses it. The phalanx system roars to life. The barrel spins up to full rotational speed in 1.7 seconds. Then it opens fire. The sound is like nothing else in the world. It's like a giant is ripping sheet metal. The gun fires 4,500 rounds per minute. In the first second, 75 depleted uranium rounds are in the air. They're traveling at 3,300 feet per second. They're traveling in a cone designed to intersect with the missile's flight path. For a moment, everything is noise and vibration. The entire ship shakes from the recoil. Sailors thousands of feet away can feel it through the deck plating. The fluorescent lights in the passageways flicker. Water sloshes out of cups and onto tables. The missiles and the rounds are now in the same airspace. The phalanx system is guiding its fire in real time, adjusting aim based on radar feedback every 0.067 seconds. The missile is performing evasive maneuvers. Its autopilot is programmed to detect when it's being targeted by a CIWS and execute random pitch and yaw movements. For 3.8 seconds, they're both flying through the same piece of sky. Then, one of the rounds connects. It's not the first round or the second or the 10th. It's the 47th round fired. It hits the missile's starboard wing root with the force of a sledgehammer. The wing fails. The missile's aerodynamics collapse. It can't maintain altitude anymore. Its nose drops. But the missile doesn't die. It's designed to be resilient. The engine is still burning. The fuselage is still intact. So the missile does the only thing it can do. It drops lower, skimming even closer to the water now, maybe 15 feet above the surface. The phalanx system loses the lock. The missile is too close to the water now. Firing at it risks hitting the ocean, and the spray could damage the system. The operator on the USS Carl M, Levin makes the decision to let the gun go silent. The missile is now 5 miles away. Time to impact is 18 seconds. Captain Mitchell sees the updated telemetry. The phalanx failed to achieve a terminal hit. The missile is still coming. He makes another decision. He orders the helmsman to turn the ship hard to port. If they can't shoot it down, maybe they can dodge it. The USS Carl M. Levin heels over the deck, tilting 40 degrees as the destroyer makes a radical course change. Sailors are thrown off their feet. Someone's coffee cup slides across a console. The missile is now 2 miles away. Time to impact is 7 seconds. The missile is designed to hit moving targets. It's tracking the ship's radar emissions. the radar is still transmitting. The missile is following the beam like it's following a rope thrown from the destroyer. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. The missile does something unexpected, something the North Korean engineers didn't anticipate. The electromagnetic environment around the destroyer has changed so much from the chaff in electronic warfare that the missile's guidance system can't lock properly anymore. The inertial navigation system takes over. The missile is now flying toward where it thinks the ship is, but the ship isn't there anymore. The missile streaks past the USS Carl M. Levin. The passage is close enough that sailors feel the heat from the engine exhaust. The missile roars overhead and keeps going. It doesn't hit the destroyer. It hits the water 500 yards behind the ship. The impact is massive. The water boils and churns. A column of spray shoots up 100 feet into the air. The missile detonates. The explosion creates a concussive wave that washes over the destroyer. It's violent, but it's not lethal. The ship is already moving away from it. Ensign Chen closes her eyes for half a second. Her hands are shaking. Around her, people are breathing again. The Combat Information Center is filled with the sound of people checking damage reports and running diagnostics. The commanding officer's voice is steady on the radio. All hands, cease general quarters. Report damage to combat. The damage is minimal. A few pieces of equipment shook loose. Some insulation came off one of the ventilation ducts. No one is hurt. No critical systems are compromised. The destroyer is intact. But something else happened during those 98 seconds that nobody realized until much later. The missile's telemetry data was captured by the ship's signals intelligence system. Every course correction, every evasive maneuver, every guidance signal sent from the North Korean sub. It's all recorded. Within hours, that data is transmitted to Naval Intelligence Headquarters in Japan. Within days, it's being analyzed by a team of cryptographers and signals experts. Within weeks, that analysis has led to something new. A pattern in the North Korean missile guidance system that no one had noticed before. A vulnerability, a way to detect the launch signature before the missile even clears the water. That vulnerability becomes the foundation for a new air defense radar system. It's called the Odin system. And in the years that follow, it saves more than 800 sailors' lives. It stops 14 different anti-ship attacks. It changes the entire calculus of naval warfare in the Pacific, all because one North Korean submarine commander made one mistake. All because he didn't know that the USS Carl M. Levin was waiting for him. Subscribe to see what happened next to that North Korean sub.